I appreciate Jeff giving me a shout out on Twitter. Tank Dell, Bailey.
Yeah.
Take a listen.
I'm gonna go get it. And this is my favorite part. What's your biggest pivot throughout all of this in your entire life? What's been your biggest pivot or pivots? That moment that you can look back on and say, without this happening, I wouldn't be who I am.
I say going JUCO. Going JUCO for sure, like, cause it was doubts. Now it was doubts, like, do I really want to do this? Like, cause my whole dream was to go to college for free education, get to play football on the next level. And then going JUCO is a risk. It could be a risk and a reward. So it's like, I don't know how I should take it. Because I'm already small. Like, they doubted me a year ago. Like, why would they change what? If I go JUCO and do the same thing I was doing in high school, I was balling in high school. If I go JUCO and ball in JUCO, if nobody want me, then it's back to square one. So it was a risk and a reward. So, and it was tough to live there, bro. I'm talking about the dorm rooms was nasty. People was nasty. And this is a crazy story, too. JB had us doing up-downs in the snow my first day. Everybody was quitting. Everybody was quitting. I'm talking about, I guess that's how he cut the roster down. First day, everybody doing up-downs. But, like, just looking back at it, like, man, if I knew for sure, if I wouldn't have went through that whole year, like, that was a tough year. I was broke, too. I ain't have no money. Like, I'm living in JUCO, and I was living off my girlfriend at the time.
Yeah, you living off me, too, motherfucker. We're going to get him on the show. Jeff made a tweet about it, and it was like basically he misses the old school coaching because guys like him and Jermaine Johnson and these other guys in the NFL that are making it right now, Pro Bowlers, and I believe Tank will be one. He was a great recruit for me. I love going down in Florida and getting him because he was, again, under-recruited, a small guy nobody gave a shot to, and I saw eliteness in him. And I told people on Netflix, I recruit NFL players, not D1 guys. And we had 11 NFL guys at a JUCO, and that is what I recruited. But those guys to this day will tell you, without that hard coaching, they don't know if they'd be who they are right now. I don't understand why it's gone away. Jeff tweeted out, a lot of people here bash on my friend JB. That said, he was one of the last true coaches. What do you mean, Jeff, and what are you seeing? Because I'm seeing it right now in college football. I'm seeing watered-down products because of this very thing you mentioned.
Well, I think we view people just as commodities and what they're going to do for us. We no longer care about people on a human level, right? So, like, back in the day, there's a guy called John Chaney. He was the coach at Temple University, basketball coach. He was tough around the edge kind of guy, Philadelphia guy. He used to go after Proposition 48 players, right? Players who
I was one.
Yeah, we're deemed not smart enough to handle it. They couldn't handle the rigors of a college education. A lot of them were kids that were from the streets, right? He went out and said, you know what, I'm gonna work with these individuals. I'm gonna try to help them get a college education, a better life. You look at Aaron McKee, who was a Prop 48 kid from Philadelphia, went to Simon Gratz, one of the toughest high schools in Philadelphia, ended up becoming a very good NBA player, went to the finals, 6th man of the year. You look at Allen Iverson. Allen Iverson was in prison. His mother reached out to John Thompson, said, give him an opportunity. All he needs is an opportunity. And look at what he became. I look at people like JB and guys that, you know, I think he truly cares about what these individuals are off the field. And you're not going to reach every kid, right? That's impossible. You're going to have kids that veer off, but there are kids that need to restart somewhere. They need to get going somewhere else. And think if Tank Dell didn't get started somewhere else, right? I mean, he could have been a guy that just fell through the cracks, and before we know it, you know, he's doing something bad or he's not where he wants to be. So, you know, that kind of coach is lost. We look at these people as commodities, and that's it. We don't care about what they're going to do and what they're going to be in 5 or 10 years. And I think that's what we really lack in America in general. A young man anymore does not have the coach, the youth football coach, the YMCA guy, the Boys and Girls Club. Those are now, like, programs just are gone, right? We don't have a coach. Good coaches don't really exist anymore at the high school level. There's not a lot out there in America's toughest areas, right?
You know what we have, Jeff? We have, and Smitty, we have great X and O coaches that know all these plays. But there's a million guys that get on the board and draw a play. A fucking drawing a play don't mean shit about that kid. They treat the kids like a piece of meat in a meat market, and that is what kids have always been in this business. Even Smitty and I, when we played, We were always a piece of meat in the market. Let's just not get it twisted. But now it's even become more because these kids can now go get a bigger bag, and leave your school if you say one thing to them that they can't handle or don't like. Because at the high school level and the youth level, we're coddling them, kissing their asses, telling them how sweet nothings to them, whispering how great they are, instead of telling them, listen, man, you're not a D1 player. But now we're telling them they're D1 players in high school just to keep them on a roster for the high school coach to win games and keep his job. And then the players get set up to fail, and now they're mad at the coach. Oh, coach told me I was a D1 player, and I'm not even getting recruited because you're not a D1 player. You never were.
We also have to look at another thing, and it's I'm talking to the extremely talented individuals that will make millions of dollars and go to the NFL. We also don't teach them and mentor them from the level of when you retire, you're going to be in your 30s, possibly, right? 35. Yeah. What are you going to do after? Because look, millions of dollars are great, but eventually you have kids, you have a family, you got to keep making money, right? It's not going to last you forever. You got to do things like that. Keeping tabs. I know you, JB, still keep tabs with a lot of these guys. These guys are now in the NFL. They're high-level NFL players, and they still look at out of everything that happened to that kid in his life as a football player, he remembers what you did for him, right? Yep. And we all have that person in our life. I'm not an athlete. I never was. But I have those people that taught me certain things that I kept. I'm sure Smitty does as well. Like, we all have those people. I don't think we quite realize how important, like, just one male mentor or a father or an uncle is to the maturation of a male in America. And a lot of kids, unfortunately, the only male mentor they have are the guys doing bad things, unfortunately. And they look at them as, that's what I have, right? Yeah. I get what I talk about. It doesn't matter if you're Italian, you're black. The streets are the streets, right? And they're a family to a lot of types of people. So